Live. I'm over here rolling up this Star Sage. I should plug my computer to the hotspot real quick so I can show y'all things as I talk. But I ain't really been on that lately like I used to. I used to just wake up on that all day long and shit like that. And that's how I know the difference of the rise and the fall because I actually tested that shit within myself. Okay? So when I speak of things, I speak of knowing. You feel me? Going with the spirit is part of the knowing that they talk about. You know, when people say the unknowing, and then like say in church they go with the spirits, stuff like that. Of course, you gotta watch what spirits and shit that you allow. But the whole key is to know thyself. Because when you know thyself, now your soul is operating. Okay? Now it's teaching your spirit to operate with the soul. Because usually the spirit or your perspective is teaching, is corrupting your soul. So that's why you get disconnected when you allow another entity or another perspective that's not matching yours at heart. Okay, that makes uh that makes a karmic loop because you disconnected from yourself. Really, karma is just dealing with you not listening to you. Okay, until you realize you have to start listening to yourself. Okay, so all this shit that I be saying is wild and all. I know it be sounding crazy, but I actually went through this shit before. Like, you feel me? When I didn't even know what was going on. You feel me? But divine timing, it was like every time I woke up in this room, I was seeing, I was putting things together that I was dreaming of and I couldn't remember. So then I realized that intuition is manifested into the physical is manifested as action through intuition because intuition is dealing with your soul, dealing with the realms. Like when you see and remember and taste and all that, that becomes part of your senses. So it becomes part of your reality when your brain is tuning into that's what I can do. When your perspective doesn't match reality, your soul, or how this planet is a solar planet in the solar system, meaning everything will have to be dealing with solar, okay? Like, like I said, they tryna make my world colder, but I'm solar. That's what I fucking mean. The Sub-Zero shit. Do you understand that all this weather, because this is really why what made me want to hop on this. Because really, I mean, I can make this about the live, about the seventh gate, but I was really just trying to talk because of storming along the East Coast, right? This is some whole 2017 shit, okay? And it seems like I'm gonna have to do this real quick, because we're in the sixth cycle where all the shit goes down. It's still 2023, y'all, okay? It's still 2023 till the end of March, okay? And on April Fools, you feel me, deals with anus, the split, okay? Because it's a 4, 5, 6 thing. It activates the cube, the little black cube and all that extra shit. It activates the sun. It's dealing with the magic square of the sun, which is 66 plus 6, what comes out to 72, dealing with a gamma wave, okay? Which the planet is supposed to resonate on 7.83 hertz anyways, but really it's been on 432. So when the planet is operating in a pineal state, that brings it, or a crown state, that brings the planet being more awakened, so using its brain more, just like you're starting to use your brain more. Okay, so this dimensions and shit I've been saying in the cycle, I've been talking about a physical cycle. I'm not talking about you rising consciousness and all this extra shit. Because if you were doing the works, you will be doing that. It's going to come naturally to you. I promise you. You just have to use your own discernment in life. Stop letting the world decide shit for you when you have your own mind and shit of your own. It's just, if it doesn't match the heart space, then it's not you. Because if you look at yourself as a kid, that's where everything started. You came in this world loving that your frequency healed other people without you even knowing. So, that being said, you came out of love. Even if your parents had a nut, and they liked each other enough to fuck, you feel me? Just because someone didn't tell the other person that they liked them a lot or loved them, or even if they met that first day, it was still out of love. Because you not about to fuck a bitch. I mean, fuck somebody you really dislike. Like, people might say they dislike people up and down, but they still love them, right? My point. So it starts as a kid, you feel me? And that's when stress and all that start developing because you were taught love, and as you grew up, everything went against your love, okay? So the thing is, you have to tap back into the heart space. Just because the world doing it don't mean you have to do it. That's not being a real nigga or being a god at the end of the day. You gotta stand on your business because that's your energy. You come with the energy, you leave with the energy, okay? But the thing is, what I'm saying is, there's a cycle, and it's dealing with the DNA. The DNA is actually the cycle they speak of, right? It's just when you're talking about you have to literally talk about nature. So when you see a shift going on around the world in nature, and you understand that's you, and you're moving the way you're supposed to move with this cycle, because anything needs its proper ingredients to even work properly, or the right elements or something, the right sequence. Your DNA is a sequence. It can be manipulated by other cells that you consume within your body, dealing with your blood, your plasma, and your melanin, okay? And that moves all throughout your body. You feel me? Dealing with all your chakras, tying right back to the heart, brain, and the roots. So, what is going on now? Say we are dealing with some pyramid shit. Okay, so that's pretty much how the firmament is. It makes a Merkaba. Feel me? 8 lands plus 1. Okay, so when I say we're dealing with the 6th cycle, there's a hertz that resonates with memory with the year on a timeline. So if the timeline consisted, so you hear when Nemesis come around, right? Okay, so when Nemesis come around, apparently, they call it their Nemesis because that's, they're against them. That don't mean that's your Nemesis, okay? Because then when they tie you back, they talk about the sun or Nibiru, right? Let's get back to point. All right, so 6D cycle, right? When this all started, it's the same storm that's going on right now. This is the distraction that they weren't trying to tell you. Okay? This is the only I'm the only person saying this shit, bro. And if I'm still repeating myself, that means you need to get it. Cause I really don't even want to be on live no more. Okay? So look, 2017, a gamma ray hit. It wasn't, I don't know if it was on the news. I know for myself because of a experience that I went through. And I believe it was 2017, unless I'm getting it mixed up with 2016. I feel like it was right before my parents moved back and I moved in with them, right? So 2000, because I was out here homeless, pretty much not like homeless, but I was homeless, but I was pretty much going through my own path into a whole state, city that I'm not from, and I had a daughter, and I just couldn't leave for some reason. I didn't want to go to DC, so I stayed here and went through what I went through. Okay, but something that was more when I was more of in a Christian mindset, but also I just didn't really like church. Um, that shit used to make me feel weird because I'm an empath. Now I'm knowing I'm an empath. I feel a lot of shit, and um, I can always figure out where it's coming from. That's why I tell you to know thyself, because when you know thyself, you know what's of you and what's not of you. So then you start peeping around you, or just it really comes as intuition. Telepathy is. Telepathy is intuition. So that's why you gotta watch certain shit. You feel me? But anyways, let's stay on point. All right, so delta means denoting a higher energy in the direction it proceeds in. So that describes like lasso, right? Because lasso be doing the same thing. It shows all the arrows going in different directions, north, west, east, south. That's the direction it's proceeding. The energy, the ions that's flowing, the plasma that's flowing, right? Now the firmament is open. When 2017, right? Delta is a symbol of a pyramid, okay? Which means denoting higher energy, right? So delta also, you can look all this up. Delta also means UV, and UV means ultraviolet, right? So when you have 2017 along this timeline, okay, because this is the six. So when you go back to 2017, it was 90 hertz going around the planet. It was a reboot, okay? So you had 90 hertz, 180 hertz, um, 270 hertz, and 360 hertz. That's pretty much saying creating north, east, west, south. So boom, that made a triangle, right? That made a triangle down. When it went around the cycle again, I don't have a pen, or do I? Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm trying to make this shit short and then get back to what I was saying about this weather that's outside. Because y'all have to realize uh, when you cloud seed and plasma interacts with it, it actually manipulates the energy to create a different compound at a different state. That's why I feel cold. It's really called carbon emission levels, right? So when the carbon emissions is charging up the atoms in the air, they come along with this sub-zero technology. It's sub-zero because it eliminates the charge and brings it to a zero or below, so there's no charge. So when you breathing in a lot of shit from outside when it's cloudy like that and you're eating shitty, what do you think you're getting? You're not getting no charge. You get discomfort, okay? And that's because it's trying to get the shit out your body because it's your energy that's coming back to you, or at least trying to come back to you. What do you think magnetic storms is about? Is pulling magnetism to your X gene. It's at least trying to activate you. Like, fasting has to be done through the cycle, okay? Because then it matches your energy with the physical. And then the light actually opens up stargates, like the UV index, it opens up stargates within you, just like it opens up stargates outside. Like, you have to really look at this as you to really understand anything that's going on that I'm even talking about. It's all reflections of you when it's time to you. The cycle is you. So if anything that's operating within the cycle, it's you. Okay, so when they have to describe all these breakdowns and all this other shit that's going around the world, instead of saying you, they're telling you still about you. Do you understand me? Okay, they're still telling you about you. So I'm talking about a sun cycle. So when I'm talking about a sun cycle, I'm talking about you. Okay? So I wish I had this. It's a video of Beadle, and he showed this chart of the solar, right? And it matched up to what I was saying because 2017 actually matches 2023 on the chart. And this shit kind of throwing me off because I know we're in that time now because most people was thinking September, but September was actually last month, December, and now we're in October, dealing with 10, 11, 12, the rebirth, which is 1, 2, 3, January, April, March. Then New Year's, April. That's how the cycle goes along. Like the 12 is only a rebirth so it can denote into a higher self. If it wasn't no rebirth of itself, then it will only stay in its energy. So I'm saying if the 9 didn't have a rebirth of itself, then the energy of the 9 would just stay here. Okay? The thing is a carbon 12 cycle that's going on. Dealing with carbon 12 is like dealing with the 12 zodiacs or the 12 houses. You feel me? So like the carbon 12 is actually dealing with the ethers, or in other words, dealing with time dimensions, dealing with energy, ether. Okay, it's dimensional. Okay, so 3,600 years is being revealed, and now that we made it to the 6th cycle, I don't care what no one says this is the 7. No, the 7 denotes itself, is denoting itself into a 7. If anything, people in China and all of them dealing with the new lands as you see, like India getting deserts and all that shit, getting plantation and all that, the new lands, okay, they're actually dealing with the 7D. That's why they're harnessing more energy now, because it flipped. So they're harnessing more energy now, and they're trying to move in on us. You feel me? Because they know the works they were doing type shit. But the whole time, it's still the U.S. at the end of the day. It's still Russia at the end of the day. It's still China at the end of the day. It's still them. It's still the same family. You understand me? Okay? But the thing about this 3,600 years is what y'all need to understand. That they only come around 3,600 years. That's dealing with 9 years. Okay? That's 9 years. Okay? It's 9 years. I think 9D denotes itself at 3600 hertz, but the hertz coming off the sun resonates with the DNA as memory, meaning that we've been here already and that we're here already, but just somewhere in a different state. Do you hear me? That means when you match your higher self, you start tapping in to different stuff. Okay? So when you start tapping in, what do you see? You start remembering you, different timelines and of your past life. Why is that? It's like, wouldn't you only remember that during death when your whole life is being flashed between, before your eyes? That's what I'm saying. Something happened 2018, 2019, maybe. But something definitely happens 2060. And this order out of chaos that's gonna happen deals with this cycle. And I guarantee it from the shit that you're seeing weird now, because they're still trying to cover up the fact that it's hot as fuck. They're trying to block the clouds and it's not really working. So now it's making more tropical weather because the whole East Coast is really a subtropic zone where they make it actually cold during wintertime. It's a subtropic zone, the whole East Coast. So getting back to the point, if it was 3,600 years and the hertz is the same as the years, because remember, time is a measurement of energy cycles, quantum energy cycles. So if we are in 2023, that would be the middle of this cycle, right? The thing is, it's rising to up to this point. Because remember what I told you, each hertz takes 3 months to resonate on the planet. So this is what the V2 stands for, because 2 megahertz actually deals with 2000, I believe, if I'm saying that right. It deals with 2000 hertz. They most likely changed some shit too. But the V2 deals with 2000 hertz. It's 2 megahertz, dealing with a G2 sun, dealing with solar power because it's dealing with the yellow sun. That's denoted itself into something different, right? That's when you look at your moon, because you see more of a yellow sun within the moon, the backside of the sun. You see more of the yellow, right? Dealing with dark matter. All right, so because the moon has something tied to this timeline cycle, because it breaks at 3,000. It actually breaks at 36. The timeline is only to 3,600 years, meaning this karmic loop shit they got going on with the moon is only tied to 3,600 years. But us being in, now that the firmament is actually open, is making the pole shift faster, and the automated system dealing with these clones and robots and shit, and the system is tied to frequencies. So if we're being introduced to higher frequencies, that means the pole is shifting, meaning time is speeding. So if the moon automated system is tied to the planet's human residence, which ties to our brain and the grid in the body, because literally nature is the output of our nervous system while we deal with the inputs on a regular basis. The rest of our DNA that caught up in junk actually connects to nature, connects as one body. Okay? So, but that's when the body is resonating with the planet, and the planet is resonating with you, with the soul. Okay? So, 3,600 years, 3,600 hertz. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The sun hertz is rising. And it's not even rising. The sun hertz is not rising. It's already like that. The energy on the planet is rising because it's dealing with more energy now. The thing is, that's like a pot. Like, say this water bottle. Where my blunt at? I had a blunt rolled. All right, so look. Let's say, class, that this water bottle, oh my goodness. Now I gotta find a lighter. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Because how can I tell you something and you don't understand? I can sound good and just be talking, but how are you actually going to get what I'm saying if you don't even get it? That's what I'm trying to help you get what I'm saying. So you can understand. That's like anyone. You have to understand the person that you're talking to even get what they're trying to tell you. So let's say this is the firmament, right? And let's say this is the opening, okay? The sun. The sun is opening up the firmament. So when the plasma comes in, it starts to come in and fill up the space, right? But when it interacts with the atom, it causes the atom to mutate or clone itself, okay? This is how they know, this is how cloning actually works, okay? This is how I'm saying people can be cloned right now and don't even know it. Stop taking this shit from these people that you never grew up with. Stop thinking you have to, I mean, yeah, show respect to other people, but the one thing is when you know someone else really don't know shit and they're just going along a curriculum, there's different ranks to them. You feel me? Different ranks. They going off a curriculum, bro. It's like a substitute teacher trying to fuck with your subconscious. Okay? Because the more the smoke comes in, you see how all of it didn't get in, some of it deflected back up, right? That's how it is when these clouds is here. That's how it is when the magnetic's here, the magnetic shield, the ozone layer. Why? Because the clouds actually reflect light back up. The heat, whatever rises back up, becomes the magnetic field, or reflects light back to the planet sun. The energy that gets in gets manipulated from the chemicals and turned into another compound and falls and creates epoxy dust in the air, which gives you allergies when you have mucus inside of your body, which can develop into immunodeficiency disorders. Okay? But the thing is, when the plasma is getting in, it speeds up time because of the more atoms. So it changes the state. The pole shift is changing its state. The pole shift means changing It's I'm creating a whole new definition. Pole shift means changing matter of one state, if that makes sense. Changing matter of one state, of its state. Because the pole shift dealing with 72 deals with gamma, the gamma wave, the green light. And the 4, 5, 6 is the second trinity, dealing with a 1 through 12. Because you have four trinities would make four corners, right? The fours is what developed the shit. You feel me? The 4 ties to the 360. The 4 ties to the 36. The 4 ties to the 12. And the 4 still ties back down to a 3, a trinity, right? The fourth trinity builds the house, okay? The fourth trinity represents carbon 12. Do you get me? So we're dealing with carbon 6, which deals with what? 6 ether, okay? When it's dealing with your cells, it can be manipulated because under the sun is mutating and growing itself into more, especially if you have blood flow being able to be flowed. Because if it's reproducing and manipulating itself off of your natural genes, then it could take on that cell of that animal or such thing that's in you. And that can become to reproduce itself and start changing your body under the sun. It will literally clone you, okay? This is how clones was even created, under the sun. The light spliced and diced the cell. You don't need no fucking lab. I mean, they have labs to do that shit now, but you don't need no lab. The sun, the planet is the lab. Under the sun, the cellular subdivision going on, which ties back to the Knight Templar secrets. Either you change into a positive, the definition of variant in medical terms matches up with the Knight Templar secret being either you change it as cannibal sodomites or nothing changes. There's a lot of distractions going on to get past the fact that this is even going on. And most people was even talking about zombies was more around the time when the CDC was saying and Rashad Jamal. Niggas forgot all about that. Like, yeah, you can have a zombie mind state, but you have to understand the drugs that even put you in the zombie mind state ties to a hex that's going to be set tied to energy that's also hitting. Is what side are you on? But anyways, a pole shift, right? Changing the state of matter means it's changing atoms. It's producing more atoms and it's moving around faster than what it was at first. The more heat and light is exposed to, the faster it vibrates. Okay? So that's the whole point of blocking the sun. Because the more light and heat, the more faster it vibrates. That's why it's also kind of bad for certain people who took that walk, because it's kind of bad for certain people who took that walk because the heat and the light is the reacted to the benzodol. It's like fentanyl, a benzo, and something else, dioxide or something, peroxide. Yeah, but anyways, it's an activate, and that's why the cell begins to you get like a heart attack or a charge type feeling, because the cells is trying to charge itself up, but it doesn't have anything to charge itself up on. So a shock goes takes the body into a shock when it doesn't have anything to charge up on because the air is changing. So if the air is getting charged, then your body's trying to get charged. But if you don't have the cells, the atoms to match that charge, then you're going to get shocked. Okay? So going back to this shit is because a shift happened 2017 with a gamma ray, but it didn't fully hit and last that long as it would have because the firmament was still up. Now that the firmament is depleted, this green light is going to hit. And I'm only saying green light because it's dealing with the pole shift of the gamma wave hitting. That's the green. The gamma wave length is a green light. It's going to appear green, but it's coming from a purple light. But as it descends down, we are going to experience the green more because of a higher frequency. When it was red, it was a lower frequency because what was allowed in. Now that more energy is allowed in, it's going to hit at a green. Okay? The next one at the 9, that's going to be the purple light. But the shutdown light is the green and pink, dealing with the blue sun and the red. Okay? Because really, all of it is purple light descending down to here. So when 2017 actually matches 2023, right? This gamma that's going to hit is going to cause a shift. When 2017 hit, it was already a big hurricane September, right? Remember, this is October, September, October. This is the repeat of that because we going back to the solar, right? So look, 2017 is matching up to 2023. It is still 2023 right now. Facts. It's 2023 still right now. Now, the upside down triangle means UV, meaning the UV from the sun. So as this energy is trying to hit, they're trying to block this shit because it's really going to have niggas shifting. Most likely, if it was any type of being at the mall, that's why. And it's really about to go down because this Hertz is trying to settle right now. And this is the month it settles in. By January 27th, this shit settles. If anything, the years 2000 till 2070, we're going to be experiencing past times right now, seeing past people that you want to like relink with, all types of stuff, past events. But I'm trying to tell you where we at. We're in the 2000s now. When this shit settle, it has to settle. I know I say it's 3, 6, 9, 12, but it has to settle, right? So we're going through the settlements. That's the rebirth. This is really supposed to be the rebirth, but this is about to settle. So once this settle, now the last 3 months is going to be rising to that, because pretty much we're rising from this to that. We're not all the way to 2070. We're almost there. You'll know when some bullshit happened because that means we done passed 2024. Okay? Remember, we're in the middle of this timeline and the energy is matching, is rising to the year that we're in so they can see what happened BC time before Christ as we going to the AD timeline, which is this, the AD and up. 7D denotes itself at 2160. That's April. And that's when you get to your 2300 prophecy or 2500 years. That's dealing with the seventh dimension or the seven ethers, the seventh gate. But this, the Mandela effect, has nothing to do with changing names. It has something to do with changing a different state dealing with your DNA. Okay?